I love this movie. I'm Tim Heidecker, and you're watching On Cinema at the Cinema. Quiet on set! It's On Cinema at the Cinema with me, your host, Tim Heidecker. Hi, everybody. Welcome to On Cinema at the Cinema, season premiere of season 3. My name is Tim Heidecker, and it is a review a movie where we review movies for you, tell you which movies we want to recommend and see. My guest today is Greg Turkington.
Hey guys, good to be here, and of course I've brought lots of expertise with me this season.
And I'm celebrating we are in the summer, and this is the whole season of summer movies is with us, so I'm wearing my summer shirt.
Very cool shirt.
Very sort of Hawaiian in style, and I thought that would be fun to wear the shirt. And so our movies today are Lone Ranger. Lone Ranger, directed by Gore Verbinski, and actors of Johnny Depp, Helena Bonham Carter, and somebody called Armie Hammer. And this is a typical story of the Native American warrior named Tonto. Recalls stories of how Johnny Reed, a man of the law, transformed himself into a legend of justice who is called Lone Ranger.
But they do reveal his name in the movie. That's one of the fun parts about this movie. I liked it a lot.
Let me just get into it. Lone Rangers is one of my favorite movies of the year. I think it's a lock for Best Picture. I enjoyed so many different parts of this movie, especially the horse riding and the Western. It is almost like a Western, and that's what I loved about it, because I love Westerns. And thank you. And I love this movie. What did you think?
It's a cool movie. It's a cool movie. Disney's usually known more for their animation, and it's neat to see them branching out with something like this. And of course, Johnny Depp is always going to be an asset to any production that he's involved in.
Yeah, I always thought that Johnny Depp would play Lone Ranger, and this was what a twist of Disney to say, no, he will play Tonto, which is the opposite character that you imagine him to be. Because when I saw that coming out, I thought Armie Hammer might have been an Indian man, and that's who was playing Tonto. So this was a big switch, and I thought it worked.
Well, it's movie magic, and part of movie magic is misdirection, just as with real magic. And yeah, Tonto is a more important character than the Lone Ranger.
Okay, well, I'm giving this as high a score as you can give, which is 6 bags of popcorn and 5 bags of soda.
The highest score is 5 bags of popcorn. I'm going to dock it 1 point, actually 1 bag of popcorn, because I think the film should have been directed by Tim Burton. I think it would have been a better film. That said, Johnny Depp was just so good in it, I'm going to bring and restore that bag because the movie was great.
Okay, so how many?
It's 5 bags of popcorn, total. And a little chocolate heart for Johnny Depp because I loved his performance.
All right. Or a horse for the Lone Ranger, the mask from Lone Ranger.
Chocolate horse.
All right, well, go check out The Lone Ranger. We have both agreed that it's one of the great movies of the year. Probably will be a lock for Best Picture, Best Oscar winner, and Johnny Depp, Best Supporting Actor for Lone Ranger. Before we get into the next movie, Despicable Me 2, which I can't wait to talk about, I do want to address my wound, or these darn bandages. As you can tell, I did have the surgery, and a lot of you guys know that, and I want to thank everybody for your kind words and support. It's been a tough couple of months. I really did feel like I was knocking on heaven's door.
Bob Dylan.
It was pretty touch and go there. I thought for sure I was going to be passed away. And long story short, I did get a second opinion, and the surgery happened much to the chagrin of my wife, who didn't believe in the surgery. So we weren't getting the surgery until push come to shove. And where I'm divorced. So, going through that process of, as a lot of people always do, get divorced. Anyway, not any of your business, none of my business.
Was it cancer, or what was it?
It was blood clots that they were able to remove surgically, which...
But did they test them?
There was a difference between tumors and clots. So these were just blood clots. It deals with the veins in your brain. Anyways, they got it finished and we can move on, but they have to let the scar heal and everything because they split your skull open and the recovery time is very painful. In fact, It was just a week ago, and the doctor said I'm not supposed to do anything for 2 weeks. So but I had to keep my commitments with this show. And so I'm have a lot of pain in my headache, which anyway, I got on herbal supplements, which are doing the trick for sure. Let the healing begin, and thank you guys for all your well wishes, and thank you, Greg, for standing by me and supporting
And
the
for
show.
getting the ball rolling of having people send you cards and letters telling you to get the surgery.
All right. Yes, thank you. Anyways, Despicable Me 2, starring Steve Carell, Al Pacino, Kristen Wiig with 2 eyes. Miranda Cosgrove, Russell Brand, and Steve Coogan. This is a cartoon, and it is basically a sequel to Despicable Me 2. Evil mastermind Gru is recruited by the Anti-Villain League to help deal with a powerful new supercriminal. I loved the first Despicable Me, and there's no reason why I wouldn't love this as well, and it's true. It is so fun and funny, and it is for kids, but it is also for adults who love good movies. Story was great, and how fun was it to hear the voice of Al Pacino in this?
That was a trip. He's won an Oscar before for serious roles. This is more of a comedic role, and I think he'll win an Oscar for this one too. I loved it.
Yes, well, I don't know if you can win an Oscar just for being a voice
I
actor.
don't think they have restrictions. It's the best actor of the year. It doesn't matter if you're wearing a mask. It's just whoever did the best job, and I think Al Pacino is definitely in contention.
Oh, well, that'd be interesting to see if it could be a world record to see if an actor wins just by the voice. And I'm giving it 4 bags of popcorn and 5 cups of soda.
This is a kind of movie that you take kids to, so I'm going to give it 5 bags of popcorn and 5 bags of mixed candy.
Okay, well, now you have some thoughts on what you should see this weekend. By the way, today we're going to celebrate the celebrity birthdays, and we call on birthdays. Okay, today's birthday is July 3rd, and exciting. This is amazing because it is our first time we're doing this segment. How fortunate we are to have one of the greats, Tom Cruise's birthday today. Happy birthday, Tom.
Happy birthday, Mr. Master, Tom Cruise.
Happy birthday, Tom Cruise. We love you, and we love all the movies you're in, especially Jack Reacher was my favorite movie last year. And all of your movies, really. And even his latest movie, which we didn't get to review, called Oblivion, which I loved, and I will love every movie you've been in.
He's not getting older, he's getting better.
Mm-hmm. So happy birthday, Tom, and we wish you many more. And
I'd love to see him in Despicable Me 3.
we're going to say, and many more.
And many more movies, yeah. Sorry.
All right, well, our next, finally, we got our old segment. Hopefully it's going to be a Tom Cruise movie, Popcorn Classics. Let's hear it, Greg.
Yes. This week, my popcorn classic is 2 Weeks' Notice with Sandra Bullock and Hugh Grant. And this is a romantic comedy that I highly recommend. What?
No, I thought you were going to do a Tom Cruise movie.
Well, I didn't know it was his birthday until just now.
Some film buff.
I'm a
Okay.
film buff, not a birthday
What's
buff.
with the red tape on the bottom?
This is my new coding system, internal coding for my collection to keep people from stealing the tapes. Sort of, it's cheaper than an alarm system, let me put it that way. And it makes sure that the tapes belong to me.
What do you mean? I mean, how does that stop people from stealing the tapes?
Well, if I loan a tape here, a tape to you, a tape to somebody else, and then I don't always remember that I've loaned them as time goes by, then I go over to your house and I'm looking through your tapes and I see, oh look, this one's got red tape, this one of mine, so then I can retrieve the films. And also that way, if professional burglars broke into the house or something and took all the tapes and then they turn up in pawn shops or whatever, I can say to the police, this is one of mine, and then you're entitled to retrieve your stolen merchandise that way. So it's, it's a lot of fun to do.
All right, what do the numbers stand for? I don't get what the numbers stand for.
This is an internal coding system. T is for the title, 2, 2 weeks notice, T. 5 is my rating, 5 bags of popcorn. 0 is the decade that the movie was released, not made, but released. This was in the 2000s. L is the first letter of the director's last name. This was directed by Mark Lawrence. 35 is the shelf number where I keep the tape, and 48 is the tape number.
Couldn't you just use the last 2 numbers then, if it's the tape number?
Well, if you only had 99 tapes, but I have significantly more than that.
Okay, I have to stop now because my head's starting to really hurt. So we'll be back next week, and hopefully I'll be feeling a little better.
And check out 2 Weeks Notice.
And I can't see anything past I hear. So if there's something you're telling me, I can't see it.
They're just done.
Okay.
The episode's done.
What's that?
Episode's done.
Thank you for watching. There's like a ringing in my ear.
Guess how many shelves I have?
Oh, that would make sense. Yeah. I can't hear you. Hi everybody, my name is Tim Heidecker, and you're watching On Cinema at the Cinema. This is a movie show, or it's a web show about which I review movies and have with a guest who also reviews the movies, who is Greg Turkington.
Hey guys, good to be here, and good to see you, Tim.
Thank you very much. And Grown Ups 2. This is the movie we're talking about today, directed by Dennis Dugan. Starring this, of course, this is an Adam Sandler movie with Steve Buscemi, Kevin James, David Spade, Chris Rock, Maya Rudolph. And Lenny has relocated his family to where he and his friends grew up. This time the grown-ups are the ones learning lessons from their kids on a day full of surprises, the last day of school. So this is one of those last day of school movies. The great Adam Sandler has returned. The first Grown Ups was one of my favorite movies of combining summer comedy with some pretty gross out comedy style humor, which I love. And great to see that Saturday Night Live gang coming back together. They are sort of the original, not ready for primetime players. And that's why I give this movie 5 bags of popcorn.
Yeah, I love the movie too. I think that the title is a little misleading. Grown Ups 2 should be for grown-ups only because it's pretty raunchy. I'd feel strange showing this to a kid. But that said, I'd feel great showing it to an adult. And I think if you're an adult, you should definitely see it. I'd give it 5 bags of popcorn and maybe an empty bag to throw up into because it's kind of a gross out movie.
All right, the other movie discussed is Pacific Rim.
Disgust is how I felt when I watched Grown Ups 2.
All right, Pacific Rim, directed by Guillermo del Toro. It's a weird name. Yes, this is an alien attacks Earth. A bunch of nobodies, so I'm not even going to mention who starred in it. When an alien attack threatens Earth, giant robots piloted by humans are deployed to fight off the menace. So this is an alien attack adventure movie. Very interesting sci-fi movie for me. I give it 2 bags of popcorn because I thought it was not very interesting, and I thought that Tom Cruise should have been in it. Because I don't know why they bother making these movies where it's an alien movie, an adventure, and there's no big stars in it. So I didn't care for this movie. I thought it was junk.
Well, Tom Cruise wasn't in the original Alien movie, and I think you'd give that 5 bags of popcorn. So I think you should give this 5 bags of popcorn, which is what I gave it. I love this movie, and I look forward to many more in the series.
Tell you what, why don't I adjust the rating after you made a good point. It doesn't have to have Tom Cruise in it. Let me throw 2 bags back in the mix and give it 4. So it will be 4 bags from me. I do think that, though, Hollywood should take notice that we are not going to keep seeing movies if it's not going to have big movie stars in it. Charlie Day is not a movie star. Somebody named Idris Elba is not a movie star. Charlie Hunnam is a joke. And if you're saving money, if that's what this is about, saving money, well, then guess what? I'm not going to pay money.
But, you know, today's nobodies are tomorrow's stars. I think if you saw Risky Business when it first came out, you'd say, oh, who's Tom Cruise? I never heard of him. Well, he went on to be one of the biggest stars of the
No,
generation.
because everyone knew Tom Cruise by then. He was one of the biggest stars on TV.
That was his first movie.
Yeah, but he was already a big TV star.
Well, so are these people.
Hollywood is this is your warning. Don't keep putting out these movies that have cool ideas and cool sci-fi, but don't have any stars I want to see. So next time, think about who you're putting in this movie. Even Tom Hanks would have been good.
A lot of these stars are getting older, and you need a new generation of stars to replace them. And the best way to do that is to give them a chance in movies like this. I love the movie.
I'm saying it's so hard to put somebody like, even if you want young, go Channing Tatum or somebody of that caliber into the film, and we'd all enjoy it much more. Still, 4 bags of popcorn. And let's do a popcorn classic.
This week on Popcorn Classics, we're looking at a great movie called 6 Days, 7 Nights. It's an action romance with Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones, the original Han Solo, lots of other films, Patriot Games, and Anne Hesh, bit of eye candy for the guys. Harrison Ford delivers in this film. It's pretty exciting, got a little bit of romance for the ladies, and it's just a fun package. I loved it. And of course, if you know my rating system, 5 bags of popcorn. Always look at the second digit on the front of the tape for those of you who are in the know.
Yeah, I remember when this came out, it was kind of considered a big flop.
It was a critical darling, and I loved it, and I wouldn't call it a flop. This was a movie that sort of didn't appeal to all audiences because it sort of brought back the old Casablanca style of movie making, or some of the old Bogart and Bacall, that kind of chemistry that these two had in this picture. So I absolutely can't recommend this film enough, and I would give it 5 bags of popcorn.
All right, thank you. And
And thanks, Harrison Ford.
thank you, Harrison Ford, and thanks for watching. And
Oh,
we'll
one
see you
last
guys.
thing. It's not your birthday, but doesn't mean I can't get you a present, especially because you've been through so much. And just to sort of as a appreciation for all that you've done for me and for the audience, I've got some new uniforms for us to wear as co-hosts of the show. They're popcorn butter yellow, which is kind of cool because, of course, the popcorn rating system. This is something you can wear next week on the show and every week, just to, I don't know, it's a neat idea.
All right, well, thank you. What size is this? Extra large?
One size fits all.
Extra large. Well, thanks, Greg, and thanks for watching.
Try it. You can get it altered.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to On Cinema at the Cinema. My name is Tim Heidecker. I'm the host of this show, and it is a movie site. It's a movie review show, my guest is Greg Turkington.
Hey guys, I'm here to provide expertise.
Okay. Before we get in to our reviews today, I just want to mention we are currently selling the On Cinema mug, and it's a really great mug, which I've been enjoying. It's got on the back here, it came from a saying that my guest, Greg Turkington, said, "Thank God for coffee." And I said, it's like TGIF. And so I say TGFC, or thank goodness for coffee.
The more coffee you drink, the more movies you can watch.
I'm not so much of a coffee guy, but you are a coffee addict, and you can put anything into this. This is my used mug, so it has some, actually was my wife's, and now I've got everything in boxes. So I just found this the other day. And
Soup is good in it.
and hot tea. All right, well, we have a lot more actually in stock, so don't worry about that. Plenty more. Our movies today, one is called Turbo, which is a 3D animated movie, and it's actually opening today. It's directed by David Soren, starring actor Ryan Reynolds, one of my favorite actors, he's Burt Reynolds' son, Paul Giamatti, and Giamatti.
Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti.
The great Paul
Italian-
Giamatti,
Italian guy.
Oscar winner.
Michael Pena and Bill Hader. So this is another great animated movie about a freak accident that might just help an everyday garden snail achieve his biggest dream, to win the Indy 500. I love this movie. It had everything for me. It had great adventure, comedy. Obviously, some of the voices were familiar to my ear. And I love car racing, and I wish it was NASCAR is my only disagreement with it, but Indy 500 is the best as well. So I don't have too many problems with that. I give it 5 bags of popcorn and 5 bags of soda. 5 cups of soda.
Yeah, I love the movie too. It's sort of a unique take on the race theme. Usually if you have slow and steady wins the race, it would be a turtle. In this case, it's a snail. So I thought that was kind of interesting choice. And the voice work is excellent, as you mentioned. So I would give it 5 bags of popcorn and a little shaker of salt, because that's how you kill snails in your garden, is you salt them.
Well, we wouldn't want to kill the hero of the movie.
No, but I mean, if you have snails in your garden.
I just thought it was so interesting how I was watching the movie and I never knew what was going on, which I liked that sort of era of mystery. And they didn't treat me like a child. They didn't make me feel, it made me feel like a child watching it. In other words, I didn't know, I was confused.
I was confused too, because when I first got the email about this one, and the letter was cut off, so it said Turbo 3, and I was like, I've never heard of Turbo 1 or 2. And then when I actually opened the email, there was a D after the 3. It was in 3D.
Yeah, that's not necessary. Keep that junk to yourself. I'm so tired. I can't sleep on the left. I usually sleep on the left side of my head, and because of where the scar is, I can't sleep that way. So I'm not getting any sleep.
Well, if you hadn't broken the coffee glass, I'd get you a cup of coffee. Wake you up.
Red 2, directed by Bruce Willis and directed by Dean Prashnot and starring Bruce Willis. Listen to this list. This is an impressive list. I mean, this has got to be like the best cast there ever was. Bruce Willis, Anthony Hopkins, John Malkovich, Helen Merman, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Mary Louise Parker. Wow. I mean, they could have just put these people in a room and sat them around a table and had them talk about the weather for 2 hours, and it would have been probably a great movie.
Not as good as it is when they're in this action sort of scenario with these assassins. I think that's what really makes the movie in this case is the plot.
I told you, I agree that this is a better movie than even the first Red, which was one of my favorite movies from a few years ago, Red, with Bruce Willis. And this is almost like it's Frank Moses and his motley crew of retired assassins return for a second outing, is the plot. And basically, this is an action adventure with a lot of humor, a lot of heart, and a lot of familiar faces. And it's probably my favorite movie of the year.
And a lot of violence, I gotta say. If you're not a violence fan, stay away from this one.
Mm-hmm. But I still give it 5 bags of popcorn and 2 sodas.
I'm not a fan of real violence, but I am a fan of movie violence when it serves the plot, and it did in this movie. This is about assassins. These are not nice people. You don't want to. These are not babysitters they're talking about. These are assassins. So there's going to be some blood spilled, and there is. And so I'm going to give it 5 bags of popcorn and 5 packages of Band-Aids for all the blood that is spilled in this great movie.
All right. Well, it gets 2 thumbs up from, two. 5 bags of popcorn from me and 5 bags from you, not thumbs up. Sorry.
No.
Forget that. Nothing to do with this.
No. We have our own system.
Right. All right. Well, finally, we got a new segment we're debuting today. Let us know what you think of these segments, by the way. Love hearing the feedback. Going to OnCinemaPodcast.com.
People love the segments.
I'm not finished with the plugs for where do people to contact us.
They already know because I'm getting lots of emails and Twitter.
On Cinema Podcast on Twitter and the OnCinemaPodcast.com and the Facebook also. And
a website.
OnCinemaPodcast.com. This is a new segment called On Popcorn from Greg Turkington.
Hello and welcome to On Cinema on Popcorn, a special new segment where we look at popular popcorn brands and examine their flavors and see which are the best for you, the viewer. My guest today is none other than On Cinema host and creator, Mr. Tim Heidecker. Tim, thanks for coming and being a part of my show. Tim, I'm going to ask you to try some of the top popcorns on the market today and give me your opinion. This is the type of thing that you would eat if you were at home watching a real movie. You'd pop some up. Now, anyone who watches On Cinema knows we rate the films using a 5-bag system. We thought we'd turn the tables and give the popcorn a 5 videotape system.
Okay. These are my 3s.
These are the 3 that we're going to choose from. Oh, hold on. We need you to clear your palate first by having a bite of barbecue potato chip and a sip of water to clear your palate so that you can start from scratch and then try our first popcorn, which today is Orville Redenbacher, the Cadillac of popcorn. Okay, now just take a handful and take a bite and see what you think.
I got a lot of barbecue in my mouth now.
Clear the palate.
Okay,
All right.
Orville Redenbacher?
Orville Redenbacher right here. See what you think. One of the all-time original popcorns.
Yeah, it's good. It tastes like movie theater popcorn, kind of buttery and salty and popcorn.
All right. So on a scale of 0 videotapes being the worst and 5 videotapes being the best, what would you rate Orville Redenbacher?
I guess I'd do four videotapes.
Okay. Cleanse the palate, and we'll move on to our next flavor, which is actually Pop Secret.
Okay, Pop Secret.
Yeah, Pop Secret is one of the original microwave popcorns. They may have invented it, in fact, for all I know. What do you think?
This one has, like they cooked it too long. It's like a little overcooked. Black, burnt. Like a burnt taste. Come on in.
We're shooting a popcorn video.
It's okay, do you want to?
So, a little burnt, huh?
Yeah, find a
I
piece
may have
that's not
burnt it a
burnt.
little bit. I may have burnt it. So
I'll find a piece that's not burnt.
I don't want to disparage Pop Secret because I think.
No, it's good. It's like this one. It tastes like popcorn.
Sorry, I burned it, but
Four tapes.
4 VHS tapes. Okay. Any differences you noticed? Okay. And our last brand is a store brand. I'm not going to give the name of the store. This is just their inexpensive store brand. Anyone can buy it. Anyone can try it. You don't have to microwave it. It comes already ready to eat in the bag, which is why I like it, because I don't have a microwave anymore, unfortunately. What do you think?
It's not as buttery and salty as the other two.
Okay. It is lightly salted. It's a lightly salted.
It's a little dry. So 3 videotapes.
So you like that one the least of the 3?
Yes, 1, 2, 3.
That would be my favorite of the 3. I guess partially for the convenience, partially for the price. But of course, nothing beats real movie popcorn. So if you're at the cinema, be sure and support your local popcorn stand.
Okay.
Thank you, Tim, for being a guest on the show, and we'll see you later.
All right, that's our show. Thanks for watching.
Hope you enjoyed the segment.
I want to go see this again.
That's why it's called Red 2. See it twice.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to On Cinema at the Cinema. My name is Tim Heidecker, and this is our show where we talk about movies, or actually review movies. This is the episode for this week. And my guest is Greg Turkington.
Hey, guys. Good to be here and to be part of the On Cinema family.
All right. I am. My head's in about 1,000 places. I got back into this too quick.
Well, let's just talk about the movies.
I could use another month.
And if you need a break or something, I'm always happy to host the show.
All right. Let's talk about The Wolverine with James Mangold, directed by James Mangold, acting by Hugh Jackman. I don't know any of these names. Famke Jacobson. Famke Janssen. Brian T. Is it Brian? What the hell's a Brian T? Brian Lee.
It's like a golf term or something, huh?
Yeah. Well, this is a bunch of no names except for Hugh Jackman. Wolverine makes a voyage to modern-day Japan where he faces his ultimate nemesis in a battle that will leave him forever changed. I can't keep doing these names. If it's going to be is this a foreign film? This movie was great. It was, I love the X-Men and I love everything, I love a great action movie. 5 bags of popcorn and go see this movie because it's the X-Men and they deserve everything.
And I'm a big X-head. That's what we call ourselves, us X-Men fans. So there was a lot of anticipation about another Wolverine movie, and I have to say this is kind of the Gone with the Wind of Wolverine movies, the old Clark Gable classic, in that it's a long movie. If you've got back problems, bring a pillow, have a couple cups of coffee, because this one goes on and in the best possible way. I love the Wolverine. It could have gone on for 24 hours. I would have been happy.
If you're gonna bring coffee, bring your On Cinema mug. That's available now in the store. So pick that up. How many bags?
I give it 5 bags of popcorn and then 10 cups of coffee because it's long. Be ready for the long haul.
Our next movie is a Woody Allen movie called Blue Jasmine, starring Woody Allen, directed by Woody Allen. Let's hear it for Woody
I'm
Allen
a big
back
Woody
in the
Allen
saddle.
fan, so this is kind of neat.
I think he's made 100 movies, and this will be his 101st, with Kate Blanchett and Alec Baldwin and Peter Sarsgaard and Louis C.K. Louis C.K. What's his last
This is an
name?
abbreviation. Those are initials.
C.K. what? C.K. Lewis?
It's like The Rock or one of these types of names where they've abbreviated it, and it's kind of cool.
It's not cool. That's a story about the final stages of an acute crisis in the life of fashionable New York housewife. This is another classic. Of course, whenever Woody makes a movie, it's an instant classic because he is one of the greats, one of the masters. This one gets my vote for Best Picture of the Year. So I think everyone's going to rush to the theaters to see this movie. It's his best.
I did.
It's funny, I used to go see these movies with my wife, and now I have, this vacuum, this hole's opened up, and I went to go see the movie with you. That was the first time we've gone to see a movie together, and that was a nice night. We had a nice dinner, went to Carrabba's, and I appreciate your company.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. We should do that more often.
Absolutely.
Kind of get more in tune for the show, too, that way.
Yeah, we ended up talking a lot about other Woody Allen movies and learned a lot about you
And about Woody Allen. And I have seen all his movies. The thing I always liked about Woody Allen was that a lot of filmmakers, they're making the movie from the wallet, and he's making it from the heart. And you can really see the difference when you watch a movie like this compared to some of the other movies we've reviewed.
Well, I appreciate that insight, and I appreciate the time you spent. And I have to admit, I was a little emotional that night, and this movie got into some relationship issues. And
Most of his do. That's something Woody Allen, that's his particular interest.
one of his trademarks.
Just like with the Bruce Lee movies, you know there's going to be some action and some karate. And with Woody Allen, you know that there's going to be some moments from the heart.
Now, obviously, this is a six-bagger. This is a classic, instant classic, because it's from the mind of Woody Allen. So we're not going to waste time giving it our review. What we'd like to do now is our brand new segment called Actors on Directors. And,
On cinema actors on directors.
cinema actors on directors. And our guest is Joe Estevez. And you'll see our interview where we talk about Woody Allen right now. Let me show the clip. Hi, everybody. Welcome to OCP Stars on Directors. That's On Cinema Presents Stars on Directors with my guest, Greg Turkington, and a special guest.
Creator of the segment.
Co-creator of the segment.
I like creating these special segments, and it's a lot of fun.
This should be a fun one. Let's welcome our guest, the movie star Joe Estevez.
Thank you. Good to see you
Good to
again,
see
my
you, Joe.
friend.
Thanks for
And
coming
nice to
out.
meet
Nice
you.
to meet
It
you
is a
finally,
pleasure.
yes.
Yeah.
Enjoyed
and
you.
thank you for inviting me back.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, we're here talking about the films of Woody Allen. I wanted to get your perspective on his work, and Greg, of course, yours. And he's got a new one coming out now, and we reviewed it. We talked about it a little bit, but have you gotten a chance to see it yet?
I have not.
Okay.
I have not.
What's your sort of perspective on him?
I don't know anybody else in making movies today that is the genius that he is. He is an incredible filmmaker.
Steven Spielberg.
But can he play a clarinet? I don't know. I mean,
He plays the piano. maybe.
All right, yeah. But an accomplished musician. I know he's won Best Director. He's won Best Writer. I know he was nominated for Best Actor. I don't know if he
Yeah,
won
I
Best
think he
Actor.
won a couple times.
Yeah.
If you had a top 10 list of American directors, where would he be on the list?
It'd be about number 3. Yeah.
Behind Spielberg and who else?
Behind Hitchcock, and maybe he'd be number 2.
What do you think is the thing that is funny about him, though? I mean, why do we laugh when we see Woody? I actually can't. Since my surgery, I've not been able to laugh.
Oh,
Gitsy. No, it's
You
not.
don't
it's
laugh.
not a.
You don't laugh.
It's not a. I mean, I still find things funny, but because of where the
Took the funny bone out, did they? The funny bone?
no, there is a part of your brain that affects the ability to laugh, to make the sound of laughter.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's fine. I'm
That's
just saying.
got to be the doggonest thing.
It's
Wow.
weird because you'll be watching something and just nothing comes out.
Yeah.
But If Woody Allen's such a popular director, or if his movies are so well loved, why do they always come out to be flops? Like, what? I mean, maybe not all of them, but if they're so great, why aren't they the #1 movie of the year? Why don't they win the Best Picture? These kind of questions.
Well,
why hasn't he had Tom Cruise in his movies and those kind of things?
You know, it's like great writers or whatever. They're never really respected while they're alive. You know, I think after he passes, if he ever does, well, we can be very objective about his work. I think we'll realize what an incredible filmmaker this gentleman was.
If you could pick any classic comedy from the classic era of comedies from the 50s and 40s to have Woody Allen remake it in a modern setting, what would you choose?
Oh, gosh. I mean, I don't believe any good film should be remade. I think it's just leave well enough alone. Walk
What about the
away.
Nutty Professor, though? That was better the second time around.
You know, you got me on that. It was. It really was. And I did way back in the day. I did the play when I was just a kid. Play It Again, Sam, and played the Woody Allen character. In playing it, all the nuances that I would find, the gags between it. No, it's a play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and since I did Play It Again, Sam, I've always respected his talent.
And who's the new Woody Allen? Who's going to fill his shoes? It would have to be somebody like an Adam Sandler or Eddie Murphy or somebody of that nature.
Yeah.
I would like to see him in, like, say, one of the Star Wars or Raiders of the Lost Ark or a series like that, just in a cameo, because I think it would sort of make things more interesting for the viewer if Woody popped up here again.
That would be incredible.
Depends on what they're offering him money-wise, you know.
Yeah, he's probably got so much money now that he could.
Of course, he lives in New York. That's an expensive city. You got to think his rent's got to be $3,000 a month.
Sky high. So he's probably only got $2 billion then.
No.
I always wonder why you couldn't have a Woody Allen movie that took place in Texas. It's always New York.
Well, he
Paris.
made one that took place in Texas.
What was it?
The not Manhattan.
Where was the Yellow Rose or the Purple Rose of Cairo? Where was that?
Texas.
There you go. Yeah. But, you know, with the old adage, you write what you know, you know. Mr. Allen knows New York, so that's where he's going to... And they love him there.
They do love him there.
George Lucas isn't from space, and he writes movies about space. So.
Yeah, but he's in space.
Right.
Yeah, I won't go.
Anyways, Joe, thank you very much for coming on the
Thank you.
show.
What
We
a pleasure.
appreciate-
What a pleasure.
Thanks a lot.
I had a ball.
And we'll get back to the show. All right. Well, thanks. I thought that was an interesting segment. Thank you to Joe Estevez for coming by and sharing his insight. And thanks for watching. Combine tonight. I'm going to probably watch the show Boston Legal.
I still have the leftovers from Parabas. I can bring them. We can reheat them.
Hi, everybody. My name is Tim Heidecker, and I am here with another episode of my show that I host called On Cinema at the Cinema, a movie review show, and it is on web. And my guest is Greg Turkington.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Fine.
I'm talking to the. Yeah.
Our first movie today is a movie called The Smurfs 2. And boy, have we had embarrassment of riches the past several weeks with sequels and animated sequels, and especially, but also just regular like sequels like Red 2. The Smurfs 2 is directed by Raja Gosnell, sort of an Indian name, but with an American name in the back.
Sounds like a Smurf name, doesn't it?
Yes. We have, this story is about, we got Jonathan Winters in this movie, the late Jonathan Winters, and Christina Ricci, Neil Patrick Harris, and Anton Yelchin. And the Smurfs team up with their human friends to rescue Smurfette, who has been kidnapped by Gargamel since she knows a secret spell that can turn his newest invention, creatures called Naughties, into real Smurfs. So a very, very complicated story for Smurfs to get involved with in this episode of Smurfs. This was one of my favorite movies. I loved the first Smurfs a lot. I loved the whole blue thing where everything is about blue, and the color blue, and the way they say Smurfs is this and Smurfs is that. I loved it, and I think they're going to probably keep making these Smurfs movies because they're very fun and very funny and got a lot of heart and a lot of soul. My review of it is 4 bags of popcorn.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting to see some of the loose ends from the first movie tied up, and it was a great movie. If you grew up watching The Smurfs, as I think we all did, it's kind of neat to see it expanded into a movie-length feature, and especially repeated the following year. And I hope this is one of those franchises like Star Trek that we see become a regular presence on our screens.
What about Jonathan Winters? I mean, this was his final film. Of course, he passed away before it was really. He didn't get to go to the premiere party. He passed away.
Very sad.
But what does that do to the film? How does that affect the way it's
box
received?
office.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be beneficial to the film. I mean, anytime someone dies, it's not beneficial. But in terms of the money coming in through the door,
People are gonna
want to
see
say
it, yeah.
goodbye to Jonathan Winters in a classy way. And what better way than to go see his final work?
I wonder how the Academy will handle it.
They might start doing a best comic actor category like the Golden Globes do at the Oscars as well. And if they do, it's probably the death of Jonathan Winters that would spur it on, because he does deserve an Oscar, and this seems like the perfect role for that Oscar.
All right, well, if the Academy's watching, let them know that we believe that Jonathan Winters deserves a posthumous Academy Award for his role in Smurfs 2. I give Smurfs 2 5 bags of popcorn.
I give Smurfs 2 5 bags of popcorn, of course, and throw in 5 blue popsicles, because that's what the Smurfs would eat.
Pretty typical. Let's see here. Our second movie this week is coming out, 300, Rise of an Empire. It's a sequel to one of my favorite movies called 300. And it stars Noah Burrow, actors Eva Green, Lena Headey. Again, I don't know who any of these people are. This is the problem with this movie. I give it let me say this. I give it 4 bags of popcorn right off the bat because of the action. But this movie made a huge mistake. It didn't have Gerald Butler in it, who was the star of the first one. And they made a huge mistake by not getting this guy in the second movie. I don't know what they're thinking.
Well, if his character dies, you can't have it.
He didn't die in the first one, so why would it? This movie is worth seeing, but it's disgusting and a disgrace to movies that he's not in it. And I think everybody in Hollywood
Maybe
owes
the
Gerald.
actor died. If when somebody dies,
Gerald Butler did not die. He
Jonathan
was
Winters
in.
is not going to be in the Smurfs 3
No.
unless they use outtakes.
No, I saw Gerald Butler was in. We did the review of it, Playing for Keeps. He's still alive. We would know about that because we would have. If he had passed away, we'd know it just the way we knew when James Dean
But if
died.
his character dies, then he's not going to be in the next movie unless it's flashback scenes, and they do use those sometimes in some of the Harry Potter movies. Or
Look
even
it
in
up.
Star Wars.
300, the original one, had alive. Gerald Butler was alive at the end of it. The character of Gerald Butler was alive, I believe. I can't remember the ending, but he should have been in this one, and that's why I only give it 4 bags of popcorn.
Yeah, whether a character leaves or stays isn't really how you review movies. That's kind of amateurish. I'm going to give it 5 bags of popcorn and throw in.
But you understood there's no star power in this movie. I mean, nobody here rises to the occasion. I think if you want to see a positive Star Wars movie or a positive star power movie, go see Smurfs 2.
Well, I mean, you talk about Star Wars. When Star Wars came out, no one had heard of Mark Hamill. No one had heard of Carrie Fisher. No one had heard of Harrison Ford. It went on to be the most beloved movie of all time. This movie has a chance to do the same thing. I give it 5 bags of popcorn and 300 little bits of caramel corn.
All right, let me just say it's the Greek general some Greek name, battles an invading army of Persians who are commanded by the mortal god turned Xerxes.
Less confusing than it sounds. I think anyone can follow this plot. It's a good movie.
It's a bad movie. So let's have a popcorn classic.
My popcorn classic today is Jack Frost, starring Michael Keaton, and it's a family film, kind of a Christmas movie. And you might say, why are we doing Christmas movies in summer? Well, the good Christmas movies are movies you can watch year-round, just as you would watch a summer movie sometimes in December. It doesn't make a difference if the
Sometimes when
movie's
I want to watch, if the temperature's very hot, you want to put on a cool movie.
sort of as a way to cool off, if you can't get to the beach, that might be a fun trick. It's a cool movie. He's the world's coolest dad. So this is definitely one you should see. And this movie is sort of historic for me personally, because I'd like to announce right here on Cinema that I am launching an effort to get in the Guinness Book of World Records. And this is the first movie that I watched as part of that effort. I watched this last night. I'm doing something called 500 Movies in 500 Days, where I'm going to watch 500 movies in 500 days, get in the Guinness Book. I think I can do it. I watched 2 last night, so I'm already 1 ahead. It has never been done that I know of. This is the official World Records submission form, which I'm going to fill out
Look at that,
a little
Guinness World
closer
Records, official World Records.
Exactly. I'm not going to fill it out yet. I'm going to wait till I've got 400 films under my belt. And I need 3 witnesses. They don't have to watch the entire movie with me, but they have to verify that I did actually watch the movie. So I could sure use the support of the viewers out there. Some of the movies I'm going to watch at home, that still counts, but a lot of them I'll see in the theater. So if you see me in the theater watching something, come up and wish me luck, cheer me on.
All right, well, that's pretty cool. I'd love to support you with that. And everybody, as Greg said, go out there and get online and find and just show your support for Greg here, and even in the comments here, let us know what you think about this crazy idea to watch 100 movies in
500
movies
in 500 days.
Right.
And if you have any suggestions for movies you want me to watch to be part of this, let me know.
I was going to say, you
have
might
them in
run
my
out
library
of
already.
you might run out of ideas.
Oh, I got more than 500 movies in my library, but I'm trying to watch movies I haven't seen before, which makes I don't have to do that to get in the book, but it's just my own personal little thing that I'm throwing.
How many years is that?
It's just over a year. 500 days is 365 days in a year, so another 135 days. So it's going to be a busy year, but it's going to be fun. I really am looking forward to this.
What happens if you, like on Christmas or the holidays or something like that? Would you?
I usually will watch a movie on Christmas, so that shouldn't be a problem. Like I said, I've already got 2 movies on the first day. I'm going to try to get ahead, and that way if I get sick or if I'm working.
All right. Well, thank you. Very interesting stuff there. And go see Smurfs 2. That's my official recommendation. 5 bags of popcorn.
5 bags.
And Rise of the Empire of 300. Could use a lot more Gerald Butler, but still worth checking out.
I thought it was good. I didn't need Gerald Butler. I love the movie 5 bags of popcorn.
Thanks for watching.
How does this work? I'm going to need 3 witnesses that sign off that showed that I watched the movies. They don't have to watch the whole movie with me. But...
All right, welcome to On Cinema Podcast. Damn it! On Cinema at the Cinema. My name is Tim Heidecker, and this is my show where we talk about movies. And my guest is Greg Turkington.
Hey guys, good to be here, and especially with these 2 movies that you have for us today, Tim.
We have a couple movies we want to get through today. Sorry,
Yes.
I'm in a rush because I have to leave very soon for a doctor's appointment, and then off to the lawyers for some bullshit. My movie today is Percy Jackson, Sea of Monsters, directed by Thor Freudenthal.
Freudenthal.
Yeah. And stars
German name.
Logan Lerman, Sean Bean, Nathan Fillion, Stanley Tucci, and Jake Abel. Bunch of no-names again. It's a bad year.
It's a good year, actually. So
The
far.
son of Poseidon and his friends embark on a quest. Pull that. On a monster to find a fleece.
And stop an ancient evil. This is a really fun movie. It's kind of like, I would say it's sort of like The Hobbit underwater, you know? Hobbit meets Jaws, if you will. These sort of fantastical characters, much as we loved in The Hobbit, but in an under-the-ocean setting. And so, of course, I really liked it. I would hope that this is the beginning of a new franchise. That's always a neat thing to be part of, is to be present when a new franchise starts. And I think the Percy Jackson franchise could go down in history as one of the best. I give this 5 bags of popcorn and a cup of water in which you can drop a plastic hobbit.
Also, I give it 5 bags of popcorn to stay on point with you. I appreciate that. I didn't get a chance to see this one, but I trust your opinion. So
You didn't see the movie?
I saw the trailer, and I gave it 5 bags of popcorn. Seems like a movie I'd like. Poseidon.
You'd like it. You love The Hobbit, so it's
I love
it's
the
neat.
Poseidon Adventure, so this is the son of Poseidon.
Imagine Shelley Winters and that gang wasn't in the Poseidon Adventure, but taking place with Bilbo Baggins and Gandalf and things like that. That's kind of what you're looking at with this. It's fantastical and fantastic.
Well, it sounds great to me, and I'm sure it's a fine movie, so 5 bags of popcorn for that. The next movie is Elysium, directed by Neil Blum. All these names. Neil with 2 L's, stupid. Blomkamp. This is a practical joke. Matt Damon, Jodie Foster, Charlotte Cloley. Sharlto Copley. Matt Damon, I know. And Jodie Foster.
He's great.
Set in the year 2154, it's a science fiction movie where the wealthy live on a man-made space station and the rest reside on a ruined Earth. A man takes on a mission that could bring equality to the polarized worlds. So this is not only an action movie, but science fiction, and I got a message about politics. And this is a little too much of about like a liberal kind of thing for me because of Matt Damon, and it had sort of this negative attitude towards blacks.
That's not the way I saw it. I saw it as a popcorn
Set
movie.
in the year 20. I didn't see this one. I didn't see it. 5 bags of popcorn because I like science fiction, so I recommend that one. I'm sorry, it's just been a hard week for me to get out and see movies.
Well, you know, sometimes movies are a good way to take your mind off your problems, especially a movie
Well,
starring
when you're
Matt Damon.
first of all, when you're moving, when you have, they make it come in for testing every 2 days, and they're taking blood and they're taking fluid out of my spine now.
But you know, a lot of the actors in these films have problems too, and they show up on set and they do their job, and you end up with a good movie out of it. And neat film.
Well, we have a big happy birthday going out to M. Night Shyamalan, who directed one of my favorite movies, Signs. Thank you, M. Shyamalan, for the gift of filmmaking that you're a part of, and a happy birthday, M. Night Shyamalan.
And I would love to see you work with Bruce Willis.
It's a little bit too much, which is why I asked you guys to give me an extra month. I can't keep coming in here each week, and you expect me to move heaven and earth to see all these movies. Half them jump.
2 movies?
I honestly haven't had. First of me, there's no movie theater from close to where I am now. Then you can get me screeners. Then you can f***ing get me screeners. Sorry. All right, let's go to popcorn. On cinema, on location. Cut to that. Whichever one we have.
Hollywood, California. Every street has a story, and these are but just a few on cinema, on location.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of On Cinema, On Location. We're here in front of Excelsior High School. Well, if you don't know anything about movies, you wouldn't know this, but Excelsior High School is actually the setting for Rydell High in Grease 2. Grease 2, the musical, and some of the songs were shot and filmed right here at Rydell Excelsior High School.
Okay. Thank you for that, Greg. Thanks for being a team player.
Yep. And again, Percy Jackson, 5 bags of popcorn.
Yeah, 5 bags of popcorn.
See you next week.
Thanks for turn the lights on. Thanks for watching. Don't talk to the audience like that. Talk to me.
If you're not talking to the audience, someone has to talk to you.
I gotta go. I'm gonna get to the doctor. Hi everybody, my name is Tim Heidecker. I am the host of On Cinema at the Cinema. This is my show where we talk about movies and review them. And before we get into the reviews today, I want to apologize for my behavior last week. And it's just unacceptable for me to say that I didn't see these movies. The truth is I did see them. And I was under a lot of stress and pressure with my health and personal life. But I can assure you that I've got some good news about my health, that I'm in good shape, and personal life's a different story. But I want to apologize to you, the audience, and also to my guest today, Greg Turkington.
No apology necessary. It's just fun to be here and be part of the On Cinema family.
Well, I feel like I put you in a weird spot last week, and I apologize.
I was glad I could cover because I had seen the movies and liked them both quite a bit.
Okay. Well, speaking of which, your project where you're doing your Guinness Book of World Records is still raging, I've heard.
It's looking pretty good. Looks like I'm going to be the newest entry in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Greg's competing to be in the Guinness Book of World Records for watching 500 movies in 500 days.
Well, I'm not competing against anyone. We sort of looked in the book and no one else had done this, so I thought it was something to try. We're 15 days in and I've watched 19 movies. So I'm 4 ahead. I just have to get to 500 in 500 days and then submit my form, and then I'm in the book.
All right, well,
part of
everybody-
history.
Yeah, everybody show Greg his support. I'm showing you my support. Is there anything I could do, let me know. Today's
Come to some of the movies with me.
I'd like to, because we actually had I don't want to say it a date. We could call it, what do they call it now, bromance, where it was Greg and I went and had dinner together. It was really nice, and we saw a movie, and I think that, if you're not doing anything tonight, I'm gonna.
I am doing something. I was going to go watch the Indiana Jones trilogy on the big screen. Take care of 3 movies. That'll really put me ahead. So you should come
I
along.
don't want to see 3 movies tonight, but
Skip the first one, come for the second 2, and could be fun.
yeah. What time's the movie at?
First one's at 6:30.
Crab is at 5:30.
4:45, because they're kind of slow.
Okay. Kick-Ass 2, starring Jim Carrey. Another great Jim Carrey performance. Chloe Grace Mortez, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Christopher Mintz-Plasse. Made up names. The costumed high school hero Kick-Ass joins a small group of normal citizens who have been inspired to fight crime. The Red Mist plots as an act of revenge that will affect everyone Kick-Ass knows. I went to see this, and at the end of the movie I stood up and I said, "Thank you, Jim Carrey."
Always thank you, Jim Carrey.
Now, I got to tell you something. I did not see the first Kick-Ass, so I walked into Kick-Ass 2, lost and completely confused. I didn't know what was going on, completely disoriented, and I still loved the movie.
I love the movie. I feel bad for Jim Carrey because I feel that an opportunity was lost. When you call a movie a controversial name like Kick-Ass, you're going to lose half the audience segment right away. If they called it Kick It and Kick It 2, people would be more likely to take their kids to it,
Kick
and I
butt.
think you do. Even that, I think you want to have something that grandparents feel good about taking the kids to, and I think Kick-Ass is a great movie, but a bad title.
I just
so-
thought a brainstorm idea, if Jim Carrey's watching, if he could do a movie called Kiss Ass, and he would be the teacher's pet.
that could be funny.
Brown noser type movie where perhaps he's the star student, but he would have to be an older student, so it'd be a back to school kind of scenario. And I think that would be a lot of fun, and I'd love to see that movie. So if anybody's writing that movie, let me know. I'd love to be in it too.
That would be wild.
All right, our next movie is Paranoid. Let's skip this movie.
Did you rate it?
I'm giving Kick-Ass 2 1 soda and 5 bags of popcorn. So 5 bags of popcorn and 1 soda. Very disorienting film, but then I went back and watched Kick-Ass 1 and loved it. So I got caught up with the way I understand the movie. So how much do you give it?
I'm going to give the movie 5 bags of popcorn, and I'm going to give the title 0 bags of popcorn, because I think with a better title, you'd have more of an audience.
All right, let's do a new not a new segment, an old segment called On Cinema on Location. And we did one last week, and people loved it. So what do you got for us this week?
This one's even better. This week, let's just say I've gone to San Francisco to settle an argument.
Can you show the thing?
Hollywood, California. Every street has a story, and these are but just a few on Cinema, on Location. Hey guys, we're here at the site of San Francisco's famous Star Trek II filming location. If you've ever seen Star Trek II, you will see Spock and Captain Kirk standing right here in Star Trek II in front of this backdrop. And we have come here to prove once and for all that the film Star Trek II was shot right here in San Francisco. Here's your photographic proof, Tim Heidecker.
Are you joking? Are you kidding me? Well, that didn't prove anything.
Yeah, it did,
No,
because
it
we had
didn't
the
prove
footage.
anything, Greg.
We had the
You
footage
can't
and we had the still.
Yes, you had footage from Star Trek 4, and you just said it was Star Trek 2. It was Star Trek 4.
No, I had
No,
footage.
shut up for a second.
I
I'll
had
show you
footage
something.
from the street of
Shut
San
up.
Francisco. I didn't have
This
footage
was
from
given
Star
to me
Trek
by
4
one of
because
you guys
can't
out
use
there.
the footage.
Shut up! This is given to me by a fan out there. He sent it to me. Thank you very much. This is the novelization of Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home. Okay? This is a novel by Vonda McMillan. This will settle the deal. Listen to this. But their trip is interrupted by the appearance of a mysterious, all-powerful intruder. Suddenly, Kirk, Spock, and the rest of the crew must journey back through time to 20th century Earth, for only there can they save the future by rescuing the past. And they have San Francisco right on the book.
It's not an official book.
It is an official book. It's a story by Leonard Nimoy and Harv Bennett. So I mean,
Leonard Nimoy's made a whole career of doing things that kind of relate to Star Trek. It doesn't mean it's the official story.
this is the official novelization, a novel based on Paramount Pictures' supreme space adventure, Star Trek
Exactly,
4.
based on this adventure of the whole Star
It's
Trek
the general
series.
story. It's where they go
It's-
back to San Francisco. That's not that hard to explain.
No, because it's. Have you seen The Hobbit?
This is the
Because
this
they're
is the
making
building.
3 movies of The Hobbit, but it's only 1 book. This book compiles the first 4 Star Trek movies, the plots, and combines them into 1 book, just as The Hobbit book combines the 3 movies.
It says Star Trek 4 right here. Not all the Star Trek movies are in this book, because then it would just be say Star Trek, all the movies. And it
I
would be
could
much
buy a
longer
book
than
about the
this.
history of the Jefferson airplane, and it would mention San Francisco, but that doesn't mean that's the basis of the Star Trek movie.
That's what this is, the voyage home. They go back to Earth and are in San Francisco.
No,
I
that-
can't do it anymore. I can't listen
that
to this bullshit from you.
That
Hey,
book is a compilation of the first 4 Star Trek movies into 1 book.
Chief Medical Officer Christine Chappell stood in the midst of the chaos of Starfleet's command major mission room. Huge curved windows presented by 180-degree views of, let me hear it, San Francisco
Okay, what
Bay.
page is that? What page is that?
59.
Okay, that proves my point. If it's that early in the book, it's because the second movie, when you take put them into
kidding
1
me?
book,
No,
Star Trek II, the San Francisco movie, is going to be pretty early in the book. It's going
No.
to be somewhere around page 59.
This is Star Trek 4. It's all this book is.
No, they're telling you that all 4 movies are in 1 book. Star Trek 4, the 4 original movies. It's an interesting book. It's not as full of detail as the 4 movies are. You can't compress 4 movies into a book and have it really cover as much ground. So I would say the book, I give
All right.
2 bags of popcorn, but Star Trek II, which is set in San Francisco, I give 5 bags of popcorn. It's a popcorn classic.
All right. Well, listen, I have enjoyed having you on as a guest.
Well, it's been good to be here and to settle this argument once and for all.
Okay, you're
So,
right. You're right.
I know.
Okay, and thank you very much for being a part of
no,
this.
I'm glad that we settled the argument because a
Thank
lot of
you.
people
Hold
have been
on.
confused
Let
in
me-
renting the
shut
wrong
up,
Star
shut
Trek.
up. Thank you for being a part of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly do not think that it's a good match to have you on the show anymore. I think it's there's too much conflict here, and I can't have this much conflict in my life right now. So I will need to make an adjustment with my guests, and I appreciate everything you've done for the show, all the segments you've produced, and I just don't think it's going to work out anymore. So all the best, and guys, we will rejigger things here and figure out a new guest for next week. But Greg Turkington's no longer part of the show. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next week. I'm really sorry. Kill Lace. I'm very sorry, but I can't do this. I can't do it. Hi, everybody. My name is Tim Heidecker, and you're watching another episode of On Cinema at the Cinema. It's a movie show where I have different guests on every week, and we talk about the movies coming out this weekend, and hopefully give you some advice about what movies to see and which ones to skip. We got some exciting movies this week. I got an exciting guest. This is what I consider a special guest, not necessarily a film critic, but his name is John Aprea. And he's an actor. He was on our Oscar special. And I'm also joined by, welcome back, Ayaka.
Hi.
How are you, darling?
Good, how are you?
Great. Ayaka and I, sorry, John, let me just introduce her and then I'll introduce you.
Oh, sure.
Ayaka and I, as you remember, was staying with our family earlier in the year, and she has come back because she got a job. We're very proud of her. And we're actually officially seeing each other. We're going out, and it's been nice to have that in my life.
That's congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's been 3 weeks.
You're a very lucky man.
Yeah,
She's
I know.
adorable.
She's very beautiful. I love her. I mean, we haven't said, I don't.
Well, listen.
I love her very much. we can talk about that later. Hopefully she'd understand me. Anyway, John Aprea has been in movies, many movies, and honored to have him here. His expert opinion on film is going to be valuable, and I hope we can work together some more. I hope you come back again.
I want to do it every week.
Okay, that'd be terrific. We'll see if your schedule permits. Our movie today is two movies. The World's End, directed by Edgar Wright, actors being Simon Pegg, Martin Freeman, Rosamund Pike, Nick Frost, and the story is of five friends who reunite to top their pub crawl from 20 years ago, unwittingly become humankind's only hope for survival. I love this movie. I thought it was very funny, very irreverent, a lot of fun. Ayaka and I saw it a couple nights ago, and we just laughed. And then there were scary parts. It had everything you wanted. It was a real roller coaster. 5 bags of popcorn from me. John?
I agree. I would give it 4. I like it, though. Didn't like it as much as you did, I don't think. But I liked it a lot. It moved, good young actors. It had a lot of different elements, scary, funny. Good movie.
Good movie. Good. Yeah. Ayaka, 5?
Yes.
Yeah, 5 bags of popcorn from Ayaka. Right on the money. But also, I mean, you'd recommend people go see it, John. Right?
Absolutely. No, I wouldn't. I'm not saying that I took 1 bag of popcorn away, but 4 bags is good.
Yeah.
I think it's a movie you should see.
Absolutely. Great.
But to me, a 5 is tough. It's hard to get a 5.
Well, this is a 5-bagger for me coming up. Not to spoil anything, but The Colony, directed by Jeff Renfro, with cast of Lauren Fishburne, Bill Paxton, and Kevin Zegers. Forced underground by the next ice age, a struggling outpost of survivors must fight to prevent humanity against a threat more savage than nature. This was a great action-adventure movie, and I love this movie so much.
Yako, what do
Me
you
too.
think?
I love this movie.
She's adorable.
I know, she's cute.
I did too. It's 5 plus. I love Fishburne anyway. I think he's one of America's greatest actors. Everybody's in it is good, and it's a good movie. That's definitely a must see.
So you're giving it 5 bags?
Absolutely.
Well, there you go. You've got a lot of great choices this week. Probably Ayaka and I are probably just going to stay in this weekend because I just set up my apartment. She's going to help me go out there and get some stuff from IKEA. Ayaka at IKEA.
That's poetic.
Perfect.
We have fun. And Ayaka is going to be doing, from now on, is going to be doing our popcorn classics. So you have a choice? Let's hit popcorn classics.
This
Airheads. Okay, John, show that one off.
Classic.
It's a fun rock and roll movie, and you don't have to think anything. You just watch.
You just sit back and enjoy Airheads with, who's in that again? Brendan Fraser. What do you think about this one, John? I think this was fun and kind of irreverent.
It's a fun movie. I haven't seen it in a long time, but it's definitely worth a look.
Yeah, this has got one of her early you wouldn't call this an Adam Sandler movie, but it is Adam Sandler in it.
Yeah.
With Steve Buscemi and Brendan Fraser, one of my favorite actors.
Yeah.
And Fraser and Buscemi are deadpan delights. Sandler's red hot. And that's what more do you need to know?
It kind of says it.
It's a lot of fun, and I got to admit, this has been a lot of fun doing this episode with you guys. First of all, having an expert on set, how cool is that?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
And Ayaka is so smart and pretty and full of life.
That is true. And there are some directors who would not think of me as an expert. So
Really?
that's another story.
Okay, favorite director?
Francis Ford Coppola.
All right, guys.
I just met him again for his new movie, which is a ways away, but I hope I'm in it.
Okay. Well, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
And I don't know. This has been a lot of fun. It's just I had such a tough year, and now I feel finally I'm coming out for air.
Good.
Thanks for watching. This has been great. Thank you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. It's fun. It's fun. You just light up a screen.
Yeah. All right. Let's get something to drink.
I'm sure.
You want to
Sure.
hit Carrabba's?
Yes.
Hi. Hey everybody, it's Tim Heidecker here, back for another episode of On Cinema at the Cinema. And it's the web series where we talk about movies and review movies and having a really fun time doing it too. And I'm glad you guys enjoy it. My guest is Ayaka. Great to see you again.
You too.
And Ayaka and I are doing very good. We just did this Tough Mudda, it's called. It's a competition where you go and try and compete, and it's a very athletic thing. She's getting me into athletics now. Anyway, and my other guest is Greg Turkington. Greg's back on the show.
Hey guys.
And Greg, great to have you back. And I love having the two guests. It really creates more of a round table kind of show, and people are loving it. So glad you could be back. And let's just say that Greg and I had a little disagreement a couple weeks ago. We've worked that out, I'm happy to say, thanks to Ayaka, the peacemaker. I appreciate you caring about that relationships are not just about, who's right and who's wrong. And so. All right, but Greg, great to have you back. I want to talk about the movie this week, The Getaway, with Ethan Hawke, Selena Gomez, and Jon Voight. Brett Magna is the name of this main character, must get behind the wheel and follow the orders of a mysterious man to save his kidnapped wife. This is a great movie. We saw it 2 nights ago, and it was really fun. It was we kind of snuggled in and got we had the popcorn, and it was like very romantic.
Throwing popcorn.
Yeah, well, got in a little bit of trouble with the usher. Trust me. And it was a getaway movie, almost like Richard, what's his name? Not Jon Voight, which is the Steve McQueen. And it was a getaway car chase movie, thrilled and chilled. And what about Greg? I give it 5 bags of popcorn.
Yes.
5 bags.
of popcorn.
Tim and Ayaka give it 5 bags of popcorn. Isn't that simple? We're always thinking alike.
Well, I disagree with both of you. It's not a great movie. It's, 2 bags of popcorn, I guess. It's not the Steve McQueen Getaway.
Got it. Okay, well, we disagree on that. No big deal. I think it was a great movie, though. And
It
the
really
other movie,
wasn't.
Okay, the other movie we saw the matinee of this the other day is One Direction. This Is Us, and this is a documentary about one of your favorite groups,
Yes.
One Direction.
I loved it.
Yeah, they were, and it is for kids, but you know what? I feel like a kid at heart. So this is directed by the great Morgan Spurlock, starring Harry Styles, Nilan Horan, Louis Tomlinson, Zayn. How do you say it? I never know how to say it. Zayn Malik, and
Liam
Payne. It's an all-access pass to the British pop sensation One Direction in concert. We had such fun at this movie too, because I didn't even know their music, but she turned me on to. Did I tell you this, Greg? She turned me on to them, and now she's got me addicted to some of their music. So by the time we went to go see it, I knew all the songs, and we were having a lot of fun singing along. And we took my niece, who's 11, and she loves One Direction, and we had so much fun watching this movie. It was very kind of a bubblegum, funny. Those guys seem like good kids, and the music is cool, and
They're cute.
I loved it. Yeah, they're cute. I don't know. I'm not saying that. She's saying that, but.
Well, you're cuter.
Well, I'm not the jealous guy, but believe me. Okay. Give me a minute. This was a great movie. I loved seeing it in 3D. 5 bags of popcorn. Greg? Sorry, Ayaka?
6 bags.
I thought
6
you
bags
shared
of
the
popcorn.
ratings. I thought you guys were sharing your ratings.
No, we each have our own ratings. They match up because we're very simpatico. We have similar opinions. That's what makes us so happy together. Anyway, One Direction, This Is Us. 5 bags of popcorn. 6 bags for her. And 2 bags of soda for me. 2 cups of soda, 2 bottles of soda for me. Large.
Well, I mean, this isn't even a movie. It's just a concert by some, kiddie band. I mean, it shouldn't be reviewed on the show. You should review it if you had a show called On Terrible Music. That would be a good place
that's
to
not
review
fair.
this.
It's a new release, so we're doing all new releases. This
Well,
is
it's not really a
theatrical
movie.
release.
It's just some jerks playing awful music, and it's not something I would watch. This is supposed to be about cinema. This has never been a show for concert movies.
All right. What's your review?
I give it 0 bags of popcorn.
All right.
I
Well,
would say if you ever seen the old Disney movie, The Black Hole, that's what this movie is in terms of bags of popcorn. It's a black hole that sucked all the popcorn out of the world into the center of the earth, into a great void, because there's nothing to this movie, and it's not a movie. 0 bags of popcorn. You guys are wrong.
well.
That's sad.
Yeah, that's a little negative.
Well, it's not a good movie.
It's a documentary. I mean, there's plenty.
As critics, we're supposed to give informed opinions about films, not just parrot what our girlfriends say. And maybe you should have a show called
well, obviously you got some
On
other
Teen
issues going
Idol.
on. You got
Bubblegum
you
Pop.
got other issues going on. You should check them out. You should go talk to somebody.
I never noticed you listening to One Direction before, so why you would
Well-
give that 5 bags of popcorn, I have no idea.
Welcome to the new me, baby.
Well, I don't like it.
Okay. Well, who cares what you think? Honestly, I don't know why I brought you back. I was doing you a favor.
Doing the show a favor by having somebody that knows something about movies.
I'm trying to be nice to you here. Nobody here likes you. Okay? Nobody, none of the crew. All right. We have a popcorn classic.
Sure. My popcorn classic this week, and this is a popular part of the show generally, was going to be The Family Man with Nicolas Cage, Oscar winner Nicolas Cage, and Tia Leone, who hasn't yet won an Oscar, but there's still time.
I love,
And,
I love Nicolas Cage too.
He's great, yeah. I watched the Popcorn Classics last week where Ayaka hijacked a segment that I created and did Airheads. And when I got here earlier, her purse was in the other room, in the green room, and it was open, and I went through it and I noticed the copy of Airheads from last week, which when I watched the episode,
Yeah.
I was pretty fascinated to see this tape because I recognized it immediately.
Yeah, I love
As
that.
my copy of Airheads, I could see the red right away. This is why I set up this system, to prevent thieves. You could still see part of the coding on this thing, which is all you need to indict and convict. Here's the evidence. This tape has been vandalized.
I have no idea.
Where did you get this? Because I've never had you in my home, and my doors have been locked. And as soon as I saw the episode, I went to the shelf where this was kept, because I have a printout with all these things, and saw that there was a space where Airheads normally is. And this is why I had this system that you laughed at, this security system, is because of situations like this. And this is why the system works. And I can still see exactly what film this is, because some of the number is still left here. You didn't even peel it off very carefully.
I'm not sure. I have no idea
I-
how that could happen.
Where did you get this?
I found it in a box in your room.
I've never, I never.
Does he have other tapes where there's a strip missing from the bottom of the box like this?
I don't remember.
Well, I have never seen that tape except for last week when Ayaka brought it out. I don't know where the she got it from. I'm sorry to curse, but I don't know where she got it from.
Well, she says she got it from you.
She didn't get it from me. That's all
This
I know.
tape hasn't been in my collection for several months, and if you're going to borrow tapes, you know you're supposed to return them within a week, and certainly return them in good
Listen,
collection.
Greg, you bring
and
in
certainly
tapes
not
all the
use
time
them.
to the studio for different popcorn classics. Maybe that one got left in.
I love this movie, but this is not a popcorn classic. It's a different type of.
It is a popcorn
Well,
classic.
it's a great
That's because
movie.
Ayaka
It's
chose
a great
it for
movie,
one.
but it's not a popcorn
Okay.
classic. But it's
Well-
certainly not a classic now that the tape has been ruined, and I have to find another
first
copy of this.
time I'm
and
seeing
it's
that-
a betrayal that you betray me already by giving my segment to someone else, who then is stealing my property and marring it.
First time I saw Airheads was I actually saw it many years ago in the theater, but the first time I saw that tape of it was last week when Ayaka brought the tape onto the show and showed it. That's I swear to
So
God.
you're saying
I swear to
Ayaka
God.
ripped the tape off of it? You didn't.
I don't know where Ayaka got the tape
Who
from.
ripped
It's
the
not.
tape
It didn't
off?
come from my house.
But who ripped the red tape off of this? Was it you or was it Ayaka?
I told you
It
what I
was
know.
like that.
So you're saying Tim did it?
Yes. I
You
don't
didn't
know
get it from my
something
house. I
important.
didn't. It was. It could not have come from my house. Could not have come from my house.
Well,
So
what?
she's lying.
I'm not lying.
She's lying about this, and I apologize to you because I don't know how that happened. But you have to come out and tell the truth of whether you found it around here in the studio or you got into his house and took it. I don't know what you did, but you're putting me on the spot here, and I want to say that I don't appreciate it, and you're being disrespectful to the show, and we have big problems. All right. We'll figure this out, Greg.
Well, you could start figuring it out by getting another copy of the video and getting me some red tape to repair the coating on it.
I didn't take that tape off either, and she has a lot of explaining to do. All right. I'm not exactly sure what we're supposed to do here, so join us next week. We'll get this figured out. Kill the line. I want to ask you, and you tell me honestly, where the did you get that Airheads from?
In your room.
You didn't get it from my room. I don't carry that shit. I have DVDs. That's what the number of them. See, this all
Don't throw the tapes.
Hi everybody, my name is Tim Heidecker and you're watching On Cinema at the Cinema. It's a show where we talk about movies and review movies. Apologies again for last week. I'll get into it with you. My guest is Greg Turkington.
Hey guys, glad to be here to enlighten you all again about the newest movies.
And sorry to say that Ayaka has returned to her homeland of Japan because of a visa issue, and very, very sad to see her go. And upon further reflection, I think she's a sweet girl, and we really did have a lot of fun together. And I think the age difference and the cultural difference was just too vast. I just could. There were a lot of times I couldn't understand what she was saying, and I think she was so young and so immature about a lot of things, and we're coming out of a divorce, and everything I've been through the past year she wasn't the right fit for me, and I had her parents. I mean, the whole thing with people from Japan calling me and trying to get her home.
Not really an expert in movies either. I mean, everyone loves movies and people go to movies for fun, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I wouldn't call her an expert.
Definitely not. And when I find out who did that to your Airheads, somebody here in this crew, it'll be hell to pay.
Well, I think I know who did it, but I got another copy of the movie. That's the good news, and it was easy.
Well,
was
because this is
$4.
my show, I'm covering it. I'm going to pay you for that.
It was only $4.
It's fine. I'll give you $4. I'll give you $5.
There wasn't any tax because I got it on the internet.
Okay. Well, I'm saying I'm not going to give you 4 ones. I'll give you a 5, and you can keep it for your trouble. I apologize. Sick of doing that. But I mean it.
No, I accept the apology. And one thing I agree with Ayaka on, maybe the only thing, is that Airheads is a good movie. So that was a good choice. It's just too bad that she had to steal it.
Okay. Listen, nobody knows who stole it, if anybody even did steal it and do
Well,
it.
2 people know, but
Let's let the police figure that out. All right. Anyways, we're not here to talk about that. It's old news. We're here to talk about this is our season finale. We're here to talk about movies. And this week we got a big one coming out called Riddick. Directed by David Twohy. T-W-O-H-Y. What the hell? How do you pronounce that? Twohy. Twohy.
Twee.
David Twohy.
I killed Tweety Bird from the Warner Brothers cartoons.
Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes.
Okay. Actor Vin Diesel, we know who he is. And Carl Urban's Katie Skakoff, David Bustadita, David Bayusta, Katie Sackhoff, and Vin Diesel. Left for Dead, Riddick finds himself up against an alien race of predators, activating an emergency beacon alert 2 ships, one carrying a new breed of mercenary, the other captained by a man from Riddick's past. So this is another great Riddick movie. I loved this movie. I love Riddick. I think it's one of those great franchises that you have, like Indiana Jones and Jack Reacher and
Hobbit, Jaws,
Jaws,
Star Wars, Star
Trek.
Trek, James Bond.
And Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious.
The Smurfs.
Twilight. The Twilight movies are very popular. Harry Potter. Harry Potter is another big series that really, without it, a lot of the smaller movies like Riddick wouldn't be able to get made.
Yeah, interesting. I agree. I think Riddick reminds me of that old story of the little engine that could. It's that movie that everybody believed in enough to happen. And I love action, I love sci-fi, and when you combine those two with Vin Diesel and Carl Urban, then boy, you got a hit.
Yeah, I agree. I've seen all the Vin Diesel, well, I've seen a lot of movies, but I've seen all the Vin Diesel movies. I'd rank this among his top 3. And that's really saying something because he's made dozens of movies.
I would give it 4 bags of popcorn and 1 gallon of soda.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you, but instead of the soda, I'd make that a 5th bag of popcorn, and I'd throw in an iron fist because this movie is exciting.
Wow. All right, well, listen, that is pretty much it for us this season.
Aren't we going to do a second movie?
Go check. No, there's no other movies this weekend. Go check out our app on the App Store. If you want to look for an app, it's under On Cinema, and it's a great app. It's the 2013 On Cinema Film Guide, and that includes basically every movie there ever was, and with reviews from us and a lot of great options. You could check that out on the web. It's just type in On Cinema app.
It's fun because you're getting hundreds of years worth of movie viewing combined into one little 99-cent app. So it's a bargain.
And pick up the mug so you can sit at home, watch the listen to the podcast, watch the at the cinema broadcast, listen to the use the app, and drink a hot cup of coffee. Thanks for all your support, and Greg, good luck with the 500 movies in 500 days.
Yeah, I wanted to do a brief update for the viewers because a lot of people are asking me about this. I am working to get in the Guinness Book of World Records, as you know.
You're going to be in the
500 movies in 500 days. We are 35 days in, and I am ahead of schedule. I'm at 51 movies.
Okay.
So I'm 16 movies ahead of schedule, which means I could take a break if I wanted to. I don't want to. I'm going to keep watching them. I want to make sure I break this record. I'll show you right now, the last 3 days, I watched City by the Sea, which is kind of a modern classic.
Well, anything with De Niro in it, huh?
Well, it's one of his best. I bet you out of the 500 movies I watch, I bet 50 of them star Robert De Niro because he's made that many and they're just that good. Another one that I watched, Sandra Bullock and Ben Affleck in Forces of Nature, which I hadn't heard of before, and
Little chick flick, huh?
it's interesting. I'll leave it at that. It's interesting. IQ with Meg Ryan, Tim Robbins, and the great Walter Matthau, the original Odd Couple, is back in IQ, and of course you could see Walter Matthau is playing Albert Einstein. So this is a thinking man's film, and I enjoyed it. These are the type of films that I'm trying to get more of in order to reach my goal of 500 movies in 500 days. And so it does take money to do something like this, to make that dream happen, to help pay for the movies, to help pay for the popcorn, the parking, and for getting the word out. So we've put together sort of a Kickstarter campaign.
Oh, cool.
Kind of a fund. If you want to be part of history, help me make history, and make yourself part of history in the process, you can donate to my fund.
Okay.
And
So
I
how
think
do we
we're
do
going to
that?
get there. Your name won't, I want to clarify one thing. Your name won't be in the Guinness Book of World Records. They can only put the actual award winner in the book. But I will send you a certificate of thanks and some other goodies. The actual 500 movies, we will be saving them, signing them, and sending them with a copy of the page from the Guinness Book, photocopied and framed for you. So that's one of the perks that we have.
So
It's
you
a good
go-
cause to contribute to.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So you go to Kickstarter.com and type in 500 movies in 500 days.
I don't know what the exact address is. It's on the bottom of the screen right now.
Okay.
And it would really mean a lot to me. If you've ever gotten something out of this show, pay it forward and
Right.
help out with this campaign.
Okay, well, go check it out. I'd love to support that. And thanks again for everything you've done and for your friendship and congratulations on everything with this contest you're involved with. It's very cool.
Well, it's not a contest, it's a world record.
All right. Anyway, it is neat that you're doing that. I'm glad to be a part of it. And I'm going to go on the Kickstarter and donate some money to that tonight.
Or if you have any movies, you can just send the movies and I'll watch those. I prefer the cash because it's just less wasteful.
Thanks for watching. I've not seen this one yet. Forces, can I borrow this?
Yeah, well, it's not very good. It says on the front, outrageously funny, but it's not.
It doesn't look that good. Hi, everybody. My name is Tim Heidecker. Welcome to the On Cinema at the Cinema's first annual Christmas special, hosted by myself, Tim Heidecker, and as well as produced by myself. My guest today is part of the Christmas special, Greg Turkington. Greg,
Hey guys, and happy Hobbit days to you, Tim.
Okay. Merry Christmas is the most important thing, and we are here celebrating Christmas. And I love how people try to make it Happy Holidays now.
I said
because
Hobbit days.
I understand, and it's. I was reading this thing on the Blaze the other day, and there's this in Cleveland, Ohio. Believe it or not, the city hall there, they are not letting him use manger for. They're not letting him use manger for display. I mean, what's going on? What country is this? That's my only point. I do want to give a shout out to a friend of mine down in Austin, Texas, Jeff Stringer. I was down there a couple weeks ago. I was attending a Liberty rally, and Jeff recognized me. Nice guy, and he came over and he said, "You're from On Cinema?" I said, "Absolutely." He said, "I'm a big fan. Why don't you come with me?" And I followed him about 6 blocks and walked into a cowboy store, a Western store, which they have a bunch of down there. He sized me up and found me these cool boots. I think they're ostrich. And, yep. Okay. All right, well, let's talk about our movies this week. I got a couple of great movies to talk about. Very excited. The Hobbit, The Desolation of... The Hobbit, yes. The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. Starring Peter Jackson, Martin Freeman, Martin Freeman. It's supposed to be Morgan Freeman.
No, it's Martin Freeman from the. He was in the original Hobbit too.
Okay.
Same
Ian
cast
McKellen,
from the first movie.
Richard Armitage. The dwarves, Bilbo and Gandalf, has escaped the Misty Mountains with the One Ring. Now they must continue onward to get their gold back from the dragon Smaug. I love this movie. I mean, let's just be honest. I'm giving it 5 bags of popcorn. I'm not going to bother arguing about that with anybody. It might as well be the same movie. This one will win the Oscar. All right? Let's not mess around with that anymore. Give them the Oscar now.
Yeah, it was funny when you first brought this movie up and you said it wasn't a Christmas movie, and I guess technically it isn't, but in a way it's the ultimate Christmas movie in that it's a gift from Peter Jackson to the world. I was a little disappointed in it, disappointed that it didn't come out earlier, because I've been waiting for this movie since 5 minutes after the last one ended. I do believe this will finally give Peter Jackson the Oscar that he deserves. I do believe that retroactively, the previous Hobbit movie might be considered for a Lifetime Achievement Award. I had this really cool dream the other day where I thought this would make a neat commercial TV ad or something, where Santa Claus is leaving the North Pole, and you see the one-horse open sleigh over through the clouds and things like that, and then it lands in a clearing, and you got the reindeer and the whole thing, and Santa Claus hops out of the sleigh wearing his whole red outfit that Santa Claus wears, and turns to the camera and says, "Merry Christmas," and that's when you realize it's not Santa at all, it's Bilbo Baggins, and it would be sort of a cool promotion for this movie, or for Christmas in general. That would be kind of my ultimate Christmas. So I would give this new Hobbit movie, I guess it's no surprise, 5 bags of popcorn and 100 more bags of popcorn.
Wow. I'm also going to give The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, the rare 5 bags of popcorn with an additional 5 bags, 10 bags of popcorn.
Well, I gave it 100, so that's probably...
Anyhow, we're going to jump on to another great movie that came out this week, Tyler Perry's Medea Christmas.
I thought you said Amadeus Christmas. Remember that old movie, Amadeus? That was a big Oscar movie as well.
Well, maybe that'll shine some luck onto this one. Director is Tyler Perry, and also starring the Tyler Perry with Chad Michael Murray, Larry the Cable Guy, and Kathy Najimy, Indian name. Medea. This is a Medea movie in which Medea turns a small town upside down. When she's persuaded, she turns a small town upside down. I thought this was a poem. When she's persuaded, why can't I read this?
It's a Christmas movie, essentially, and...
No, I'm looking at it, and it's... Medea turns a small town upside down when she's persuaded into helping a friend pay her... It doesn't seem like it makes sense as a sentence. Helping a friend pay...
At Christmas.
When she's persuaded... Okay, when she's persuaded into... I'm sorry, the first time I'm reading this. When she's persuaded into helping a friend pay... Okay, so when she's persuaded into helping a friend pay her daughter for a surprise visit on Christmas.
Christmas, yeah. It's a Christmas movie. And if you've seen these movies before, you'll love it. I got to say, I was a little distracted when I was trying to watch this one because my mind was still on The Hobbit, which we'd seen earlier that afternoon, and I kept seeing Bilbo in my head and sort of wondering how the whole trilogy is going to end, although I have read the book.
Rating?
For The Hobbit? Or no, for, sorry, I was thinking about
Tyler
The Hobbit
Perry's
again.
for me, I give it 5 bags of popcorn. I'm excited because this is really sort of the first black Christmas movie. And,
Well, I mean, Larry the Cable Guy isn't black, and he was in it.
well, it's a black theme movie. And I think it's great that every race has their own movie they
Yeah,
can
but
celebrate and watch
Larry
on
the
Christmas
Cable
season.
Guy is white.
But, for example, Christmas Carol is a white movie, and there might be a black in that movie.
But anybody can watch these movies, and that's...
Well, congratulations to Tyler Perry and Larry the Cable Guy, who for making making this film.
And I would give it 5 bags of popcorn and maybe some sort of blinders or something to stop you from seeing or thinking about The Hobbit while you're trying to watch this, because you should really give it your full attention.
All right, let's move on to our next segment, which is Popcorn Classics.
Our popcorn classic today is Christmas with the Cranks. If you've seen this before, you know that Tim Allen is hilarious, Jamie Lee Curtis is hilarious, Dan Aykroyd is always hilarious, Cheech Marin, hilarious, Jake Busey,
Son of Jack
hilarious.
Busey. Son of.
And this is based on the novel Skipping Christmas by John Grisham, who's kind of a spy guy. If you like spy movies, I'm a big Bond head. This is just a fun, sort of an instant family classic, and you gotta see it.
And that's starring Dan Aykroyd as well. It really tears it up in this movie and is a lot of fun to watch. But all the best to Tim Allen, and Merry Christmas, Tim Allen.
Merry Christmas, Jamie Lee Curtis, too. They're always beautiful, Jamie Lee Curtis. She adds a little bit of spice to this. It's still a family comedy, but, you know, let's face it, she's a good-looking woman.
Mm-hmm. Very sexy, and I love seeing her in the yogurt commercials. I would like to now just jump into our Christmas gift on cinema gift exchange. All right, Greg. Well, I got you something here that kind of a big gift.
Wow.
Open this one first.
Okay. Ooh, it's heavy. Let's see.
No, I think you'll like it. I think it's sort of appropriate since you're such a movie buff. That's a Blu-ray player. It's a brand
Blu-ray.
new
Oh, okay.
Blu-ray player, and that's like the highest technology in terms of DVDs. And
Does it have a VHS input as well? No, it's just a blue. Okay, well, that's cool.
no, and then this came with it. This is like sort of on top of that. You'd want to.
I have a pretty big VHS collection, a library I've sort of spent my life building, so I don't know if I'm quite ready to make this switch over, but...
Well, this will help you get started, and those are just like a starter pack, so you can get started with. Show some of the Marine 3.
Treasure Train,
This one
Disorganized...
looks funny. Look who's in this one. I thought of you when I saw it. Hoyt Axton, whoever that is, Corbin Burnson, Lou Diamond Phillips, and Ed O'Neill. It's like a gangster comedy. And this is high quality, best picture quality you can ever get. Some of these are 3D too. So that's for you. Got that for a pretty good price.
The shelves I have for my film library are kind of made for more VHS height, so I'm not sure where I would keep these, but maybe put them in storage or something, I don't know. But yeah, it's cool. That's nice. I got you something, which I think you're gonna like.
That should hook up to your TV as well.
Yeah.
HDMI cable.
I think you're gonna like this. It's the one and only official, brand new On Cinema at the Cinema hat, which you can wear to baseball games or wear it on the show would be what I would recommend. And then, since you said you lost yours, I got another one of these babies made up. This is the uniform for future episodes of On Cinema. And
I didn't even
there
get
you
to
go.
open it. He just handed it to me. Traditional stuff would be wrapped. All right, well, I have one of these, or I misplaced one of these, so good to have one of these back again. Looks a little big. And thanks for the hat.
Yeah, try it on.
Well, I'm gonna mess up my hair.
No, it's not that type of a hat. Just try it on.
Oh, this is all kind of where I want it to be, so I don't get hat head.
Well, loosen it and then put it on.
I'll, free country, I'll probably wear it whenever I want. Not right now. But thank you
Yeah, thanks for the, movies.
Thanks for watching. I'll see you next year.
Yeah.
Can I get out of here now? Or are we just gonna? I don't want to do a whole holiday thing with the crew.